Hi, my name is Veronica, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. How did that one do?
That was very good. Let's do it. Just maybe one or two more, okay? You know, I always say on this channel, pay-per-view fights should actually be free. And now the day has come where I'm about to hook you up with an app where you can watch all your pay-per-view events, boxing, UFC, etc. for free. I want to introduce Block TV, the best internet streaming television app out there. They provide over 3,600 channels, including HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, and Stars. They have a massive video-on-demand library with over 40,000 of the new release movies and the latest TV series. And it also includes DVR, so you're getting all of this for $34.99 a month, and once again, that includes free pay-per-view. So this one right here is a no-brainer, guys, because back in Las Vegas, I was paying damn near $200 a month for my cable. Those days are long gone now. So to get the app, make sure you guys go over to getblocktv.com and put in my promo code and get 30% off your first month. You also get a free month for every friend you refer. The promo code is DBNation. Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So one of Canelo Alvarez's biggest allies, biggest protectors, if you will, the WBC president of Mexico, Mauricio Solomon, he was asked a question that only a Canelo Alvarez fan would dread, which is, why hasn't Canelo Alvarez fought Jermall Charlo? When is he going to fight Jermall Charlo? And to many people's surprise, the WBC president, he said he actually wants Canelo to fight Jermall Charlo. Now, he did say that he would like to see Jermall Charlo fight other people and build up the fight, etc., etc. But the most important point is he said he wants to see the fight. Now notice Mauricio didn't do what a lot of die-hard Canelo fans would do or say, which is things like, oh, well, he doesn't deserve to fight him, he's a bum, he's etc., etc. No, he actually praised Jermall Charlo, which further proves the only people that would defend Canelo for ducking are fans that are afraid deep down that Canelo may lose to someone like a Jermall Charlo or even a Demetrius Andrade, aka the Black Murderers. This is further proof that the walls are closing in on Canelo Alvarez. The pressure of him having to fight the best fighters in one of the divisions that he campaigns at. Because right now, Canelo, he's fighting in 3 divisions, and he hasn't fought the #1 guy in any of these divisions. There are 2 undefeated champions in the middleweight division. That's Jermall Charlo and Demetrius Andrade. Jermall Charlo actually has Canelo's belt because Canelo Alvarez, he decided to surrender his belt as opposed to fighting to defend his belt. This is what champions are supposed to do, guys. You know, when it comes to Jermall Charlo, it's as if Canelo Alvarez was cornered by Jermall Charlo. He was stuck in this house, surrounded by police. The police are basically Jermall Charlo. And Canelo Alvarez, he had 2 options. He either comes out the door blasting away with this "you'll never take me alive" mentality, or he comes out with his hands up and he drops his gun to the floor and concedes by telling the police he surrenders. This is what he did with Jermall Charlo. So this is the question that everyone has. Why would Canelo Alvarez fans be calling Demetrius Andrade and Charlo a bum, but you never call Rocky Fielding a bum? Why do you guys have so much personal disdain for Jermall Charlo or even Demetrius Andrade, but you never had any type of disdain for Rocky Fielding, for Liam Smith, for Matthew Hatton, for Amir Khan, and the list goes on and on and on. And the answer to the question is more than simple. These fans are too emotionally attached and they cannot stomach watching Canelo Alvarez possibly lose to someone who might be better than him, especially when they're on the coincidental list. They don't mind Canelo Alvarez losing to Gennady Golovkin. They don't mind Canelo Alvarez losing to David Benavidez or even a Caleb Smith. They just don't want to see Canelo lose to someone on the coincidental list like a Demetrius Andrade, like a Charlo. I mean, you got to understand, these Canelo fans, they still haven't gotten over the Mayweather loss. So they're going to sit here and they're going to try their best to downplay Charlo, Demetrius Andrade, anyone that's a threat to Canelo Alvarez, deep down praying to God Canelo never gets in the ring with them because they're in such fear that Canelo may actually lose to them. I mean, the fact of the matter is, we never see fighters like Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, Shawn Porter, Jermall, the Charlo brothers. We never see these type of fighters making the same type of moves that Canelo Alvarez is making. The fighters that I just named right now, you have never seen them have a championship belt and have some undefeated fighter who's been calling them out for 2 years, and they decide, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and give that belt to that guy, avoid him, and fight lesser opposition. You have never seen them do this before. Only Canelo Alvarez makes moves like this. Matter of fact, speaking of how fighters like Jermall Charlo move and fighters like Canelo move, Jermall Charlo, he's already talking about moving up to 168. He wants to fight David Benavidez, the best super middleweight in the world right now. Something that Canelo Alvarez hasn't even thought of doing. When Canelo went to 175, he didn't go after the best light heavyweight in the world, which is Arthur Beterbiev or Bivol. He went after the weakest champion in the division, Sergey Kovalev, a guy who had already been knocked out twice. Compare him to Andre Ward. Andre Ward moved up in weight when Sergey Kovalev was pound for pound top 3, the best fighter in the world. Hands down the best fighter at light heavyweight. And it was a far more dangerous fight than the Golovkin fight that Andre Ward wanted. And you know, I keep hearing Canelo Alvarez fans saying that Floyd Mayweather or Canelo Alvarez is doing the same things that Floyd Mayweather did. Okay, so if he's doing the same things that Floyd Mayweather did, when is he going to get in the ring with a guy that's considered pound for pound top 3, the best in the world? When is he going to get in the ring with a guy at a higher weight class that's the best in that division? Undefeated, bigger and stronger, because that's what Floyd Mayweather did at age 36. When Floyd was 36 years old, who did he fight? He fought Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez was the best junior middleweight in the world at the time, undefeated, bigger, younger, stronger. Are you guys telling me Canelo is going to do the same thing? That's equivalent to Canelo fighting David Benavidez. Actually, I lied. That's not the best comparison, because when it comes to Canelo Alvarez, he'll pretty much be the same size as David Benavidez the night of the fight. Let's not forget, Canelo Alvarez is known for rehydrating to 180 plus. He walks around at like 200 pounds. So he'll be closer to David Benavidez's weight, right? But when it came to Floyd Mayweather, Floyd was 15 to 20 pounds smaller than Canelo Alvarez. Canelo had every single physical advantage over Floyd Mayweather. Now, don't get me wrong, it would still be a hell of an accomplishment for Canelo Alvarez to move to 168 and beat the #1 champion. I'm just saying Floyd Mayweather had more of a disadvantage when he did it. But nevertheless, Jermall Charlo is willing to do something that Canelo Alvarez is not willing to do. And surprisingly, I just told you guys in the last video that I did, David Benavidez's father and trainer, he admitted that Jermall Charlo would actually be a more dangerous fight than a Canelo Alvarez fight. He said now they want the Canelo fight. He said that's a big name fight. You know, basically saying Canelo, he has the big name, so maybe they'll get a bigger check. But he said in terms of danger, Jermall Charlo is more dangerous. Matter of fact, let me clear this up because I don't want there to be any confusion when I say more dangerous. Because David Benavidez's trainer and father, he never called Canelo dangerous. He just said that Charlo is a dangerous fight. And then when he started talking about Canelo, he said, oh yeah, that's a big name fight. You know, that's the guy with the big name. Meaning they don't see that fight as dangerous. They see it as lucrative. So I want you guys to notice, whenever it comes to the professional community, the professional trainers, the professional boxers, notice they're never saying any of the same ignorant things that you hear Canelo Alvarez fans say in the comment section. They're often saying things that are logically thought out and make sense, which equals the truth. Something else that needs to be mentioned. You know, some people would say, hey, well, Jermall Charlo, he ducked Demetrius Andrade just like Canelo ducked Demetrius Andrade. I always tell you guys, it's one thing if you are to duck one fighter and then you're going to still fight another dangerous fighter on the same level, as opposed to ducking a dangerous fighter to fight like a Rocky Fielding or fight some guy who's already been previously knocked out once or maybe twice. That is a big difference. So regardless if you want to say Jermall Charlo ducked Demetrius Andrade, if he's going to move up to 168 and fight David Benavidez, not only does that make Jermall Charlo look way better than Canelo Alvarez, but it puts him above Canelo Alvarez on any type of pound-for-pound list, hands down. I'm saying if Jermall Charlo were to move up to a higher weight class and beat the best super middleweight in the world. And by the way, I've already told you, and I'm gonna keep telling you guys, styles make fights. And I truly believe that Jermall Charlo, he would have an easier time fighting a David Benavidez than he would fighting Canelo Alvarez. That's because Canelo Alvarez is a little bit more elusive, a lot more elusive. When it comes to David Benavidez, he's more brute force. He's aggressive, he's a great body puncher, he has a great jab, but he just comes forward. He's aggressive, he's there to be hit, compared to a Canelo Alvarez. And we all know that when it comes to slick type of boxers, counterpunchers, at least 80% of the time, they beat those styles that just come forward, those aggressive type of fighters. Now, I'm not saying that Jermall Charlo, he beats Benavidez hands down. I'm just saying I truly believe David's style is more easier to figure out than Canelo Alvarez's style. And that's not saying that Canelo Alvarez beats Jermall Charlo either. Who knows? I mean, those are 50-50 fights. I truly believe Jermall Charlo beats David Benavidez. And I believe Jermall Charlo versus Canelo is more of a 50-50 fight. And that's the reason why David Benavidez's own father, he said that Jermall Charlo is a more dangerous fight than a Canelo Alvarez. Now, I know once again, casual fans, they're just gonna look at the weight and be like, oh man, but David Benavidez is big, etc., etc. But I keep telling you guys, Shane Mosley moved up 2 weight classes. He beat Oscar De La Hoya. Floyd Mayweather moved up 5 weight classes, beat Canelo, beat Oscar De La Hoya, who was 20 plus pounds bigger than him. Manny Pacquiao moved up, 8 weight classes, beat De La Hoya, and a lot of other fighters that were bigger than him. So I don't focus so much on weight, at least when it comes to these type of styles. Now, if David Benavidez was fighting a smaller guy who had no defense, like a Chocolatito Gonzalez, perfect example, because we seen when he moved up in weight, he got knocked out because he did not have the defense. When you're moving up in weight, you have to have a better defense than you had in the smaller weight classes, because now your defense is far more important than it was before, meaning you cannot afford to make too many mistakes. Chocolatito, he could make a lot of mistakes when he was in the smaller weight classes because he was so much bigger than a lot of his opponents, or even if he was just a little bit bigger than them. It didn't affect him as much when he got hit. And a fighter like Jermall Charlo, he has the IQ to understand this, to understand the art of hit and not get hit. You know, boxing is no different than any other sport, because in every sport there is, the objective is to defend your own goal line and to score as many goals on your opponent. The only difference is scoring goals in boxing is punching someone in the face or the body. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. We'll see if Canelo Alvarez can save his career, because if he doesn't make a change, he's gonna end up looking just as bad as Gennady Golovkin is looking today. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. Matter of fact, one more thing. I want you to go ahead and subscribe to my man Rodriguez Jackson's channel. He covers and records the Golden Glove tournaments, Caribbean festivals, fitness, and more. His channel is Rodriguez Jackson. That's the name of his channel. I'll put the link in the description box.
Are you ready to take your striking game to the next level? Then you've got to get the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, reflex, hand-eye coordination, head movement, and striking IQ. Lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere with the Focus Ball.
And don't forget to put in the promo code DBN to get 10% off of your order.